Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm wearing another bleach dye product. I had this like rust colored dress in my closet and I was like, I never wear it, time to make it look cuter, so I bleach dyed it and it turned out dope. Like, it turned out amazing. It has like these really cute pink patterns, so I tried to match my lip to it, but I don't really think I did that great of a job. But don't come for me. I was an effort, okay? I apologize if you hear anything. I'm sitting by a window right now to film, which really isn't the best, but it's like the only space I have available right now that's like a relatively quiet space because I'm filming later in the day. So there might be cars going by or fireworks, even though it's not the 4th of July yet. Midwest. Ugh. And also you might hear music or something like that. So I apologize in advance if you do. In today's video, I'm going to introduce you a little bit to a gecko that is currently in quarantine here. I have usually named geckos like literally the moment I find out I'm getting them, but I don't know what it is about this gecko. I think maybe I had like a mental block when it came to her, and I'll explain why. So I think that that's why I couldn't name her, but she deserves to have a name. So she has the name that she came with from the person that had her previously, which her current name is Tula from her previous owner, Tula, and I want to tell you a little bit about her, but I don't want to go into too much detail because like I have a whole video, like a welcome home video for her that I will talk about her separately in. This really is just going to be me picking her name because I need some assistance. Like, I have so many names that I feel like could fit her and I can't choose one, and usually that's not a problem I have. So before we get started, I'd like to ask you to please subscribe and hit that notification bell. I don't know which side's which, but just please do it. I'm asking you. I'm almost at 20,000, and by the time I post this, I will be. So, hey, 20,000 of you, hello, how are you doing? I hope that you find this video enjoyable, and if you do, let me know at the end of it. That's all I have to say, and now let's go ahead and get started. So, I want to tell you a little bit about her. Not a whole lot, like I said, but a little bit before I get into the names. So, her current name is Tula. As I said, she was rescued by an individual from somebody else who had poorly kept her. She was housed with another female gecko, and this gecko had really severe metabolic bone disease and stuck shed, you know, the really tragic neglect that can often be seen. And then Tula herself was missing a bunch of toe tips and she had a really big scar on her back. So these geckos were in bad shape. And I had been anticipating on taking both of them in, but the owner that had them previous to me decided that it was better to euthanize the one that had really bad MBD, and I have a lot of mixed feelings about that still that I'm working through, and I think that's why I have like a block when it comes to Tula, because I had been anticipating both of them, and then at the same time another gecko I was going to be intaking died very suddenly and tragically. Like, I do genuinely get connected before I even get an animal. A lot of times I have had to wait months or even a full year before I can get an animal because they are like rescue, rehome, or adoption situations, and I'm a very emotional person and I get connected to them very quickly. And so when the one with MBD was euthanized and then the next day the other gecko that I had been supposed to be taking in since March, it died very tragically and suddenly, it just really hit me, and I think it gave me a block. And so I think I couldn't think of a good name for Tula because I think I was subconsciously like blocking that out, like, don't get emotionally connected because this one could end up passing away too, or it might end up not working out. Like, I didn't know if I'd actually get her or not, but I have her and she's doing great. She's in quarantine right now. She looks like she's in a good condition despite having a bunch of toe tips missing and also the big scar on her back. She is well cared for since coming to me from the person that originally took her in. But I feel bad that I haven't given her her own name for me yet. She just has Tula from the previous home, and I wanted to give her a Game of Thrones name so that she could finally be welcomed into all the other geckos who have Game of Thrones names. So if you don't know, I have 29, 30. I think that she makes 29, but I'm not 100% sure. She might make 30. Let me count. So there's sit with me here for a minute. So I have Marjorie, Mira, Rhaego, Carsey, Arya, and Theon. That's 6. Then there's Merlin, whose middle name is Brynden, which he's named after Brynden Rivers, who's a Targaryen. So then there's Merlin, and who's above Merlin? Oh, Tormund, and then Amy, who's named after Aemon Targaryen, and then Fritz, whose middle name is Tyrion, so that's 4. There's Myrcella, Ygritte, Benjen, and Varys. There's another 4. Then there's Vash, who's Aaron's gecko, who he named Vash all on his own, which I wanted to name him Jorah. There's Vash, Lyanna, Viserion, and Jojen. There's another 4. And then there's Shireen, Roz, Eddard, which is 3. And then there's Elia, Tywin, Renly, and Brienne, which is another 4. And then there's Sam, Gilly, and Melisandre. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So that was 28 prior to getting the unnamed Gecko. So yes, now I have 29. And another one on the way, so it'll soon be 30. I do operate a sanctuary, so when there is a gecko in need, I do try my best to be able to take it in. I've had to say no before, and I really hate saying no, and I hope that someday I have the time and financial resources and space to never really have to say no, you know what I mean? Right now, I'm waiting on 32 leopard gecko enclosures to be built. I just bought them. It cost me almost $4,000. I have a whole video planned about that I will be posting. It'll actually be the same outfit and background because I'm filming it next, but make sure you keep an eye out for that because I'll be retiring my gecko bookshelves, and that's a really big deal, so be on the lookout for that. But anyways, back to the unnamed gecko. So she makes number 29, and I want to give her a Game of Thrones name because, as you heard, all the others have Game of Thrones names, or a couple of them have a Game of Thrones middle name. I found that like a number of names fit her well, so I'm gonna go down a list and tell you the names and why I like those names for her. So first up we have Tula, and she is a character that is in the show, but she has a different name and a different like background in the books. So she ends up being Robb Stark's wife. If you know anything about Robb Stark, he's beautiful, he's great, but he was naive, and it red weddinged resulted. Ugh. But because Tula starts with a T and Talissa starts with a T, I thought that'd be cute. So then the number 2 name is Ashara. She's a character from the books that is not in the show. She's mentioned, I think, but she's not in it. And I like the name, so I went with that. And then there's number 3, which is Alysanne, another character that is not in the show, but she's in the books. She's a Targaryen queen who was like really awesome. If like you know anything about her, I'm not going to go into too much detail because probably most people don't care, but she was really awesome. She was a queen of the people, so to speak. And then there's Yara, who everybody knows Yara. Okay, Yara is amazing. I think her name was different in the books than it was in the show. I think her name was like Asha, and it was too close to Asha, so they changed it, but I haven't read all the books, so don't come for me. The reason I like Yara is because she's just amazing, and she's so strong and resilient, and she's a fighter, and she's confident, and I would hope that like those characteristics can be found in Tula because she is like a resilient gecko. Plus, she was housed with another girl gecko. Y'all know anything about Yara's character, you know why I say that. Anyways, then number 5, we have Tyene, who again is a really strong warrior type of character, and it starts with a T, so I like that because, you know, Tula. And then number 6, we have Rhaenys, and I'm not sure if it's pronounced Rhaenys, but I've heard people pronounce it that way, and I like that pronunciation, so that's what I'm going with. That's a Targaryen name. Then we have Visenya, who's of course another Targaryen, but the reason I like Visenya is because 1, another strong woman character, and then 2, begins with a V, and Vash looks like so similar to Tula that I decided that like it'd be cool if they both had a V name. So then number 8 is Shiera, named after Shiera Seastar. I think that is the full name, and she's just like, I thought Shiera is like such a pretty name, so I just was like, yes, we're gonna go with it. Then number 9 is Rhaella, who's another Targaryen name, and then number 10 is Helena, which is another Targaryen name. And the reason I have so many Targaryen names on here is because I like to name my albino morphs after Targaryens a lot of the time. Random number generator is gonna choose, I think I'm gonna choose 4 of them, and then I'm gonna choose a couple, and then it'll be down to 1, you know what I'm saying? So, because I don't just want to like just do it one time. I think I want to do it a couple times because I think that'd be more fun. So I have my old phone here, random number generator. I put the minimum is 1 and the maximum is 10. Are you ready? 2. See that? Okay, so that is Ashara. Ding ding. Okay, let's generate again. 6, which is Rhaenys. 4, which is Yara. 3, which is Alysanne. And 8, which is Shiera. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So now we'll say that the max is 5, and we'll do it 3 times. Oh, okay. It said 5, which is Shiera. Okay, so there's 5. Okay, generate 3. 1, 2, 3, which is Yara. All right, we got 1 more. And 2, which is Alisan. Okay, now we're gonna have to do it just 1 time out of 3, and this will be the name. Oh my god. Okay. 3. Her name is Alisan. Okay, that's it. It shows it. Alisan. Alisan, a Targaryen, a very beautiful Targaryen, great queen, queen of the people, was great with the Northmen, was revered by everyone. She held women's councils to like hear about women's problems because women were often overlooked in the Game of Thrones world, and she would hear out their problems. And she also like was intelligent, and unfortunately, because she's a Targaryen, she was married to her own brother, but she was resilient and strong and also really humble and not what you would expect out of like royalty. So her name is Alisan Tula. That is her name. Awesome. Wow. That was fun. I almost want to do this for other geckos, but like I've always been able to pick. Like I already have the name picked for the gecko that's coming next. Huh. Alisan. There she is. Oh, I can call her Alice for sure. Oh, that's cute. Okay, I'm happy. There's a lot of good names on this list, and I'm gonna keep them for the future, but Alisan is no longer one of them. That's it. Alisan Tula. That's her name. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I know this was quite a bit different, but still I hope it was enjoyable nonetheless. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't like it, I'm sorry. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions, concerns, or if you just want to leave a comment. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.